Hey guys, I'm Ich, and here's the thing. Today, we're talking about lenses. I recently watched a Peter McKinnon YouTube video called
The Holy Trinity of Lenses.
So that inspired me to do a sports version, if you will, of this same video.
Highly irresponsible.
You see, these are all my lenses back there, and basically in this video, I'm going to tell you which 3 of these lenses I always take with me every time I go shooting at a sporting event. So stay put. So as I said, these are my lenses. I also got the cameras behind me. I'm going to show you the cameras in a separate video because I want to do a whole different video where I go through the different models of cameras that I have and why I chose these specific ones to film sport. So if you're interested in that, make sure you subscribe to this channel and click the notification bell so you don't miss that video. When it comes to lenses, there's 3 that I always bring with me every time I go out shooting on sporting events. The first one is a lens that I already mentioned in a previous video. If I can only bring one lens with me, no hesitation, this is the one. So if you watch my videos, you probably know where I'm going with this. Yeah, it's my 18 to 200 millimeter lens. This one right here. Basically, this is what you want to have on your camera when you don't know what's coming. There's a great flexibility in the range from 18 mil to 200, which means that you can get some wide shots from up close, and you can also zoom in at the other end of the ground or the pitch or the court if you need to. This guy will get you through anything. As I previously mentioned, I did do a video about this lens a few months ago now, I think. So if you want to know more about it and why I think it's so good and you should have it, especially if you're on a budget, because this is not necessarily the most, it's not a high quality lens, but for what you get for your money, it's definitely a zoom lens that you want to have in your bag, especially if you're filming sports. So if you want to know more about it, make sure you check the video that I've done. I'll put the link in the description below. So yeah, this is a workhorse. This is the lens that's going to get me about 70% of my footage. In comparison, the next 2 are more like specialists that I need for a very specific reason. So the next one, this lens right here is a 75 to 300 millimeter lens. This guy is basically a backup to my 18 to 200. Because in a perfect world, I don't need to use this guy at all, but I definitely want it in my bag just in case. Because what happens is, like, you never know. Sometimes if you're going to a new venue or something, like somewhere where you've never been before, they might put the cameras far away or refuse to give you access to the ground, and therefore you need that longer range. And the 300 mil zoom is going to give you, obviously, that much more than the 200. But the downside is that it starts at 75. Obviously, there's lenses worth thousands of dollars that could do potentially 18 to 300 or 400, something like that. But we're talking about, like, you know, over $5,000. So I'm talking mostly, my audience is mostly people on the budget. So these are the lenses that I started with personally, and I just sort of added on. So I started with the 18 to 200 because it was good value, and then I added this on because it allowed me to film a bit further away. And not only is it good for long range action, but it's also very useful to film fans from a distance, because when you're filming crowd shots, you don't want to have really a wide shot with empty seats all over. Like, if you got like a full packed stadium, then go nuts. But if you don't, you really want to zoom in and sort of avoid the dead space and just get the emotion in the face. So to have a lens that allows you to punch in on the other side of the court or the ground is really helpful. Because otherwise, if you can only film people in your section, you might be able to, you know, to film a few people. Actually, the next lens is going to help you with that. But you want to be filming from the front, not from the back. That's what I'm getting at. So being able to film them from a distance and maybe a bit of profile, all these other sections that you can't reach physically, this is going to get you that shot. But let's move on to the other lens, because now that we're talking crowd shots, this guy right here, definitely the highest quality lens of the 3. This is a 20 mil lens, 1.4 aperture. Unlike the previous 2, this one is fixed. So it's 20 mil, you can't zoom in or zoom out, but it's a nice wide shot, high quality, It allows you to go, basically what I do with this guy is that I go literally in people's faces and get that clean emotion where, because of the 1.4 aperture, it lets a lot of light in, and I get that blurry background so that the subject gets all the viewers' attention, and you can really focus on their happiness, their celebration, their stress, their relief. You see all those emotions with that lens if you use it the right way. And the other thing is that it's really helpful because most of the time in stadiums, the lights are always pointed mostly at the ground. Therefore, the stands are a bit in the dark. You probably don't notice it when you're there, but if you're filming, your camera is definitely going to notice it. So again, a low aperture is going to let a lot of light in, and it's going to make up for that lack of lighting. And by the way, if aperture is a word you've never heard before and you're wondering what I'm talking about, make sure you check out my video that I've done about this. It'll teach you how to understand how the camera works with the light and how to get these blurry backgrounds. So definitely, if you're shooting with DSLRs, you want to check that out. I'll put the link in the description below, and yeah, just once you're done with this one, move on to that one. Quick tip before I go: every time the game's about to finish, there's a few minutes left, I'll make sure I've got this guy on my camera, because as soon as the game's over, I'll run up to the winning fans and film them celebrating and cheering and pointing at my camera and being happy and jumping in the air, because I can use these shots all over my video, not only at the end, obviously, when the team wins, but also throughout the game when there's goals and stuff. If I didn't have the opportunity to film crowd reactions then, a celebration at the end of the game can make up for a goal celebration. No one will see the difference. So during that 1 minute that the crowd is celebrating the victory, make sure you get different people with that beautiful lens, and you'll thank me for it, I guarantee. So that's it for me, guys. That was quick and easy. Hopefully you liked it, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.